Do you ever feel like you can't draw as well as you'd like? And what if I told you anyone can actually learn how to draw? Hi, my name is Brenda. Welcome back, or welcome if this is your first time watching one of my videos. In this video today, I am going to share how you can easily get started with drawing. I want to go through why drawing is so important. Drawing is a fundamental skill in art, and it acts as a foundation for other artistic disciplines, whether that's sculpture, painting, printmaking. A strong foundation in drawing allows you to approach other mediums with much greater confidence and skill. It also helps with the initial planning and development of ideas before you commit to something more costly like paintings. Whatever you're drawing, you'll feel more confident if you have it sketched out first and that the composition is okay. Drawing will sharpen your ability to observe the world around you. You'll start to notice details that you might have otherwise overlooked. A regular drawing practice will also encourage a much deeper understanding of form, light and shadow, as well as an understanding of perspective and spatial relationships. It all very much comes down to what materials we use when we're drawing. The materials we use for drawing do not determine our artistic skill, but we can't ignore the impact they have on the development of our style and technique. So if you chose pencil over pen, or if you chose, we'll say, ink over pencil, you're going to get different results. So the type of medium we choose and the type of paper we choose will play a crucial role in the appearance and the quality of our final drawing. So I'm going to go over some of the materials I use. Now, I don't use these all the time. Sometimes I find myself leaning more towards pencil work. At other times, I'll use felt tip pens just to kind of get finer detail. And the type of surface and the paper we use is very, very important as well. So I'm going to start off with pencils. These vary. So this one here is a 9B pencil. So B pencils are soft pencils. They're like graphite-y. So you can see the effect that one displays there. This is a 4B pencil, similar but a bit lighter. And we have our H pencil here. So we're getting a much lighter effect here from that. So that's our H pencil. So that's just pencils. I have some fine liners here now as well. You can see the different widths on these, 0.8. This one is 0.1. So we'll just see, that gives a fairly broad line. And if I wanted to do some more detailed work, I'd use a finer tipped felt tip pen. These are other kind of pens that I have here, and again it kind of gives a similar line to this one, and then just a regular biro as well. So it very much depends what you're using, what kind of scribbles, or if you're working in lines. Another medium we have here is charcoal, so we can see how different that is. Charcoal, it will very much depend on the paper you're using as well. This paper is medium grained paper. What I love about charcoal is you can blend it out lovely. It's lovely for a life drawing, and we can rub back into that and take out some of the dark again. Next we have coloured pastels. Again, there are specific papers that you can use with these. I'll go over the types of paper and the different surfaces that you can use next. And we have a similar effect here that we had with the charcoal. You can get some lovely, lovely effects by drawing with pastel. So these are chalk pastels. Okay, what's our next one? We have some coloured pencils here as well. These are watercolour pencils. So if I added water to that, it'll smudge it. We can get different effects there from that. We can also use markers. Very much depends on the tips as well on these. And they all come in lovely bright colours. We have watercolour here. Can draw with watercolour as well. We have some ink here as well. Ink is a lovely way of drawing. Get some lovely effects with it. Very much depends on the brush you use as well. So if you're blocking in areas, you would use a flat brush. So that's ink. And there's various ways you can use ink as well. Like this is a bamboo pen I picked up somewhere. You can draw with that. Definitely gives different effects there. So these are some of the different mediums that we can use while we're drawing. As you can imagine, each of these is going to give different results. So it very much depends on what you choose. I would start off with pencil or even the fine tipped pens. They're lovely to work with. If you like loose, expressive work and you like to get messy when you're working, then charcoal or pastel is lovely as well. I can't ignore the quality of ink. It's absolutely lovely to work with. And you have these little incidents that happen and little mistakes, and they can add to the final drawing as well. So other tools that we need like erasers, like putty rubbers, just regular rubbers with edges on them to give different designs if we go back in, are like sharpeners for pencils. I had like a little cotton bud here that I was able to go back into the charcoal with. We also have like sponges. Definitely if you're working with charcoal or pastel, you know, they're lovely to work with for blending, and they come in all different sizes and shapes. And these are little makeup brushes that I have here. The next thing I want to talk about is types of paper. So I have an acrylic pad here. It's canvas texture paper, 300 gram, 140 pounds. So it's quite a heavy paper. And you can see the grain on that. It's almost like a canvas. There's like little grains here. So you're going to get different effects if you use a grained surface. You can see it there when I applied the chalk over it. It definitely wouldn't lend itself well to some if you were trying to do fine detailed work, you know. You'd be better off with a smooth paper for something like that. It could add a little bit of under detail to your drawing, but again, I would prefer smooth paper if I was working with pencil. And again, we have more textured paper here. It's watercolor paper, Daler Rowney. So this again is 300 grams, 140 pound cold pressed. The grain is quite heavy in this as well. So brilliant if you're using the watercolor. And the page doesn't buckle, it's quite thick. This I have here is smooth heavyweight paper. So again, it's suitable, and it'll tell you on the front there for pencil, ink, like calligraphy type inks, fine tipped pens. It's acid-free paper. It's just smooth heavyweight paper. Lovely for drawing with pencil there. Or if you wanted to use ink pens on it. Or again, your ink from here. But I wouldn't recommend it for charcoal. You can experiment with all these yourself and see which ones you prefer. You might like to work with charcoal on smooth paper over grained paper. So it's very much a matter of preference. It's just that when you are working with charcoal, it does go into the grain more if you have a rougher paper. Then we have pastel paper, and this comes in all different colours. It can add to the piece as well. If you're drawing, we'll say, with like this pink now on the paper, it looks absolutely gorgeous. It's just the background colour can really lift what you're doing in the foreground. And the colour there. See how that lifts that colour. So your choice of surface is important. Because there's a fine little grain on this paper as well, you can see it there. So that's all the materials and surfaces that you need to start drawing. In my next video, I'll be discussing all the various forms of line that we can use to draw. I hope you found this helpful. If there are any other video topics you would like me to create, let me know by dropping a comment below. Until next time, bye!